God works in mysterious ways. He does things different. It's His ways, His thoughts, His ways that He does things. My thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways. But if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. But it ain't going to come the way you think. It ain't going to come the way that you, in the ways that you think it's going to come. But it'll come. It'll come. But are we denying ourselves and what we see about things? And are we grabbing a hold of it and taking it to a different realm of things? Our next step of things, John 15:12 is the next scripture I want to read to you. This is the key, as we said, to the powers. This is the key to faith. This is the things that we have got to do as a body more than ever that we've ever done if we want to become that group, that body that He wants us to become. This is what we got to do. John 15:12 says this. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what the Lord doth. But I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you, that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, and that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, He may give it you. These things I command you, that you love one another. This is the key to it all. That we got to break any kind of barriers, and they got to be a love that's got to drive us more than anything. And it's a commandment of God and the answer to anything. Your enemies, what's He say to do? Love them. What's He say to do to everybody? Love them. They only know that you're my disciple by love. By these things. But we allow, when things don't go the way we think that they should go. When situations, even though God is telling us it's going to come over here, I promise you this is going to happen, but it don't come the way we think it's going to come, and we don't manifest the way we think it's going to manifest, we begin to doubt, we begin to be upset, and like He said at the end, because iniquity abound, the love of many will wax cold. Because why? It ain't happening the way we should happen. We don't see these things, and we don't deny ourselves and say, God, you got it under control. I got to trust you with everything. I got to hold on to you. It's the only hope I've got, and I've got to follow you. I've got to stay on this path. I've got to stay on this course. And I've got to go forward. But to love one another as much as He loved us. And as we said, it was all about the simple things of all He said. That He clearly gave His life for us. And that's what we're here today to celebrate. That this man gave His life. Gave His life for us. Gave His everything that He could give. He gave it all for you and me. And do we really even recognize it in every day of our lives? Or are we so concerned and letting the things tear us down because it don't manifest the way we think it should manifest? That we can't love one another. We can't even love out in the ways that we need to. And right now the answer to help anybody is love them. You want to help a family in need. You want to help somebody, love them. You just love them. You love them with everything in you, not with just words. The Bible said it must be done in deed and truth. And that's what I was telling the other night. A pastor's job is to see that his flock have life. Try to get life more abundantly and have eternal life. But the only way he can do that is he's got to love them. How? In deed and truth. He's got to tell them the truth. And you know, a lot of times people today don't want to hear that. I've been pretty much almost stoned over the truth. I'll be honest with you. I believe I would have been crucified at some times over the truth, giving people the truth about the real truth that's behind them whenever they come. And many people won't even come to you. And whenever you even open the door, many times I've opened the door to this congregation and say, if you'll come, I'll tell you exactly what the Lord has showed me. But you know, people wouldn't come because they don't want to know the truth. They want to run with their avenue, their ways that they think it should go, not deny self and accept what God has for them. Not accept and say, God, you know what's best, even though I don't want to go that road, I don't want to go that way. But they don't want that truth. They would rather run their way and try to invite it. Teresa said it the other night, you know, handcuffing ourselves to Christ. You know, we got to handcuff ourselves to Him and be a part and follow and let them change, is what you said, sister. That's what you was talking about. We got to follow wherever He wants to go. But you know, I think a lot of times we take that key, don't we? And we break loose and run over here and say, well, now come over here where I'm at, God. Come over here and join me, because I really don't want to go down this avenue. I don't want to go down the way you want me to go. I want to be like Peter. I want to deny. I want to rebuke you, Lord. I want to rebuke against the way you said. You can't die. You can't suffer. You can't go through this. This can't be true. You're the Son of God. This can't be true. But you got to deny the way that you think that things should manifest. And you got to learn that God knows that He's the only comfort that you and I have. He's our rock. He's our high tower. He's our deliverer. He's our all in all. He's everything. And we need to be handcuffed to Him more than anything, sister, don't we? And right now, that's what y'all need. I need. Everyone in this place and in this world needs right now. They need to be handcuffed to the man that we're celebrating the day that He defeated the final foe, death. He defeated it. He overtook it. No more enemies could overtake you and me. O death, where is thy sting? Grave, where is thy victory? That's what Paul said. Why? Because Jesus beat it. So it can't beat you. It can't defeat you. There ain't nothing. And that's what we've talked to you about. There's not one enemy that can defeat a believer if they'll obey God. But they got to learn to deny the way they think it's going to happen. We got to learn to deny that when things manifest and when things come the way that God say they're going to come, it don't come our way, that we're thinking God ain't working. That we're thinking God ain't doing nothing, and He ain't caring, and He ain't loving, and He ain't... When our only hope is Him. We got to handcuff ourselves, like Teresa said the other night. Handcuff it. I mean, tie ourselves down and say, Lord, let me go wherever you want me to go. Let me do whatever you want me to do. And as I said, the 40-day run is over. I got to rephrase this to you. It's changed. Today is the end of it. And He's telling people to do things. There's people with talents and gifts, and there's things that God is wanting us to do. He's wanting us to reach out to this community and to these people. He's wanting us to do things. But the only way we're going to do it is when we obey Him. And He said, if you love me, obey me. Keep my commandments and love one another. Love one another. But man, people will get so upset over, well, why did they get my parking place? Why'd they do this? Or why'd they do that? They'll get so upset over these things and get all tore all to pieces because things just did not manifest the way that they thought it should, and just get mad and storm off and just won't talk to someone for weeks. Just get so mad at them and upset. And then, you know, that's how we work in our lives. We just get upset over the most silly things, to be honest with you. And then we get tore up over things we ain't got no control over. Things we can't change, things we can't do, things that we can't have no effect over. And it simply goes back to, we got to deny self. And we got to learn to love one another no matter what. Because, you know, Bridget was talking about the other night, we are so guilty that we want to look to others and their faults. And I think it's something inside of us that makes us feel better about our faults. You know, it makes us feel better about our problems, and we can overlook ours and say, well, they're worse off than I am, when we're all guilty. We all have sinned and come short. We all have our problems and our weaknesses. We all have our situations. We all have our things. But man, love is the answer. You got to learn now to step up and deny yourself and obey God. This is your next step.